Okay, chosen ones. Hey, welcome back. This is part 3 here. Moving on about how not every Mother's Day and every Father's Day was all a bed of roses. A lot of it was heartbreak for many people, especially during this day and age and the way times have changed. And I've seen, based on several other videos, the youngins, I mean, call y'all youngins, but children today that have come from parents, mainly from Generation X. Some of them are starting to make videos talking about how they cut their parents off. And a lot of you can relate to this. Now, I'm not talking strictly from my own self. Me and my children, we okay, but we went through some things. We did go through some things, let me tell you, and everything's cool. But it wasn't always cool. And part of my shifting when I began back last year, some of it had to do with that. But anyway, what I was bringing this up for is because, not all Mother's Day and Father's Day is all gravy. And that's why I don't like getting caught up in them pagan days, because they are kind of set up to mess with your chakras. The chakras are all based on your emotions. So you need to know that. And when I talk about letting go, I'm not saying throw away your children and just discredit them and don't speak to them no more because the way they act them. We want to understand our children. We want to try to work on things. If you have reached out and tried to communicate and your kid or children, both of them or all of them or how many you got, some of them are many, none, or I don't know, a couple of them, whatever. If it's one or two or whoever it is, it could be a loved one, not just about children here. But you've tried and left the door open for respectful communication just not happening. That is because one element is missing, and that would be the respect. You can't have respectful communication if there's no respect. So, in saying that, when I talk about all this, you got to understand where we left off. People have their own lives and demons, and they're not going to change just because you asked them to. If they did, or if they do, try this just because you asked them to. Do you want your happiness with them to be based on them being forced? The forced sense of willingness to do what you asked them to do? Or would you want them to respect you because they automatically just respect you? You get what I mean? You want them to do it on their own because they're grown now and they should naturally just make the choice. So it is a shock, and a lot of us Generation X, it's a shock when we discover, what? Not my sweet little so-and-so? How come all of a sudden I'm finding out now that they're grown, living on their own life, and they're standing on their own 2 feet, that they are distant. They're somewhat a little bit too distant. And we didn't grow up like that. My Generation X, it was a concept of family. You know the concept. Y'all been talking about that stuff. Oh, grandma, there's no more dinners at grandma's house. Now, no one's getting together doing the darn thing. Things have changed with all this technology and things going in the different directions and stuff. No one's keeping the family together like that. And this is a direct result of some of that too. But a lot of it, like in part 1 and part 2, if you were traumatized as a child and endured abuse and things like this, this is not referring to you, honey. This is not referring to you. Mama Tisha's not talking about you. I'm talking for the parents now, and to the parents now that are chosen ones, because see, and that's another thing, chosen ones, we are targeted for people leaving us, and people just we being abandoned by other people. We got thrown into isolation and lose people in our lives. At the beginning of this journey being chosen, many of us said, how come I'm losing all these people in my life? How come nobody cares about me? How come no one, I lost everybody? Because they're not the same as you. You are chosen, in fact. Well, this ties into that too. You're going to find out. Many of you may have already found out. Some of you, your children, ain't lined up with you, and there's nothing you can do about it. We're crossing over into the new earth, 5D, and some of this you're going to have to understand and realize your loved ones may not make it there with you, and you cannot change them. If they're not receptive to hearing all you saying about this chosen stuff business, there's not much you can do. All you can do is exemplify your integrity. You can exemplify the person that you have become and being chosen in front of them, and let them see this is the real me, and that's who I am, and I have dignity, and I emit respect, so I deserve respect. And when they see that, they're going to start looking at you differently, and they're going to have a respect for you, a newfound respect for you, because you are living your life authentically. You are getting respect from others, because wherever you go, you're going to be getting treated with respect. Standing firm in who you are and knowing who you are as a chosen one. Why does it matter so much tonight? Because we have this important, I'm sorry that the ring light is shining on this. That's why I put the glasses on my nose and pinch like that, because I don't want that glare in your eyes. But this moon tonight, let me get back to that. It's a very important, significant moon because we've been shifting all week. And the goal of this is the cleanup, getting the declutter out of your life, decluttering it all. But tonight, this moon, this specific moon tonight is going to declutter it all. And I gave you that secret code angel number that organization, not the FBI, but the other one that starts with a C. They had it, and it was released in a document. And it says, this is a high angel number that can help you to shift and go, whoo. The number is 55515. Say it in repetitive motion with your shifting tonight, with your intentions, with setting your affirmations. Keep saying and repeating it as you do it and before bed. But, you know, all the pointers and clues and things you can get. You say it with all the breathing and all the techniques we've discussed and all my portal videos and things like that I've given you. But if you can't declutter from this right here, you are not going to fully shift over there. See, baggage will follow you. If you don't declutter it now, it's going to follow you, and it determines what your next timeline is going to be. If you want a good timeline that you're going to go into, you got to make that. You create that with your mind. And once you declutter and let go, and do it best before bedtime, so it goes with you in your dreams. When you carry it into your dreams, it becomes part of your reality and your life. On to the next one. I'm not sure if y'all can really catch on with that, but listen. Respect can't be demanded, nor can love be begged for. You appear small and needy, not strong and respectable. Emotional freedom means reclaiming your inner strength. Make it so. If they call you on the phone, say, I'm glad that you called. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear from you. But don't act like, well, it's about time you call. You know what I'm saying? You got to show them you appreciate their call. And that's it. That's why I said don't speak too much, but speak firmly and affirm what you're saying. Know what you're saying with accuracy and tone and pitch, and you mean it. You're firm in what you say. But if they don't call you, your days will not be ruined. You've got to know that, okay, they didn't call. Okay, I noticed it, but it's not going to consume my day. It's not going to ruin my life. It's not going to make this certain day fall apart. Your life keeps going and moving forward with or without their attention. You understand? With or without their attention, you keep it going. You don't let it consume. You don't go throughout your day telling people, oh, my child didn't call me today. It's my birthday or it's Mother's Day or whatever. Or she didn't show up. They're talking about, no. Don't even bring it up. Act like it never happened and just be like, okay, it's not going to ruin my day. Maybe something came up and they wasn't able to, whatever. But even if it wasn't, my life is going on. Okay? You get what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, let me tell you something, Linda. That's what we do. Keep going with or without their attention. When you reach this point of what I'm telling you right now, and when they see you don't need them to be okay with yourself, that's when they're going to start seeking you out differently. Because respect and admiration are born from balance, not from lacking. It's like, say you're afraid to swim on your own, and you go swimming with your kids, and you know that you're a little shaky about swimming. You get a little distant from swimming. The kids are right near you, but they know swimming. You put them in swimming lessons, whatever. You start holding on to your children or a loved one, in this, for instance, so as not to drown. When all along, you're not counting on your own instinct knowing that you can swim. You just ain't trying it. You can swim on your own, but you must attempt it by believing in yourself. When we hang on to our children, it's like we're so used to that life of what we was raising them. They grown now. They gone now. They have their own lives. And you have to let them go. And when something is released and you let it go, if it comes back to you, it's yours. If it doesn't come back, then it never was yours to begin with. It was yours for a time. That's what you have to accept as a chosen one and move on. Okay? Now, there's other sections to this video. This is a very lengthy video that this comes from. It's by Stoic Garden, S-T-O-I-C. It's 41 minutes and 38 seconds long. If you ever get the chance to dive into it deeply and you want to, because this is applies to you, go for it. The video is titled, When Your Kids Don't Respect You and Ignore You, You Don't Get Angry. Okay, that's what it says. Don't get angry. So some of the other titles I'm going to say real quickly were Silence and Strategy, The Stoic Response to Indifference, Break Free from the Guilt That Keeps You Stuck, Don't Let Them See You Weak, Stand in Your Integrity, Learn to Say No Without Fear, Build a Life That Doesn't Rely on Their Presence, Time Will Set Everything in Place, You Choose How, and The Revenge of Silent Success. Now that's the end of this video. I hope that this helps somebody out there, because we're shifting tonight. You really need to declutter from this once and for all. See you in the